Thanks for joining us again on Secrets of Bluegrass Chefs, where this time we're looking back on Kentucky's culinary history. It's a Secrets of Bluegrass Chefs Rewind. Right now on Secrets of Bluegrass Chefs. Inside Lexington's signature wine and tapas bar.
That's what we're looking for.
Spanish-inspired food with bluegrass at its roots.
Tortilla española. It's so good.
And it's easy to recreate at home when you learn the secrets.
This is totally something you can do at home.
Almonds and olives, Spanish puff pastry,
Always serve maybe about 100 of these a day.
even homemade sausage.
Old school.
And did we mention the hundreds of wines and bourbons on the shelf? We're sampling our way through all of it and revealing a lot of secrets along the way.
I'm definitely going to share some secrets.
I'm Tim Laird at Lexington's Enoteca Tapas and Wine Bar, and this is Secrets of Bluegrass Chefs. Tim Laird back with you for more Secrets of Bluegrass Chefs. This time we're back on Jefferson Street for another culinary gem. At the intersection of 2nd and Jefferson Street, there's another intersection between Spanish tapas and Kentucky home cooking.
We do it here the way we like to do it at home.
Seth Brewer and his wife Renee opened Enoteca a couple years after opening Wine and Market, the wine shop that's right across the street.
Enoteca, it's an Italian word, and it means wine repository or wine library, like biblioteca is a book library.
Renee is a book of knowledge when it comes to wine. She's a certified expert, and she always enjoys helping guests pair the right wines with the right food.
Wine is my passion. I drink wine at home. My favorite beverages are water, coffee, and wine. That's about all I drink.
She's probably the most qualified wine professional in Lexington.
I've tasted every single bottle that's on our wine list and know a little bit about every bottle.
She studied the wine industry in France, traveled the world learning about wine, worked a harvest in Napa.
Seth's expertise lies elsewhere, among the beer and the bourbon selections at Enoteca.
So we do have a great beer selection here.
Lots of beer.
Bourbons, we have about 70.
The wide selection of libations lends itself to sampling, as does the menu of food.
And tapas seem to be the natural fit. Tapas are they're small plates, they're easy to eat, they're fun to share, and they're made with all fresh ingredients, just how Seth and I like to eat at home.
Tapas originated in Spain, and at Enoteca, the same can be said of the chef.
And we found Elizabeth, and she is Spanish and grew up eating tapas.
Elizabeth Magi is the real deal, a Spaniard by birth with bluegrass in her blood.
My mother is a full-blooded Spaniard. My dad is from Kentucky, or was from Kentucky, and that's what brought me here.
She's been cooking all of her life, from the time she was a little girl.
With my mom as a little girl, right next to the stove. And then while I was in high school, I worked at a bakery. It was my first job.
Nowadays at Enoteca, she's the head chef, fusing traditional Spanish cuisine with tried and true Kentucky techniques.
We're going to start off with the tortilla española. It is not what you would think of, or most Americans would think of, as a tortilla.
Tortilla translated actually means cake. This cake, however, isn't for dessert. It's actually more suited to brunch. It's something you can do at home when you learn the secrets.
The technique is really the trick to it. I definitely am going to show you that. Hopefully everything goes well.
She starts with 1.5 pounds of potatoes that are cooked halfway for about 10 minutes in boiling water. Then she slices them.
I'm going to salt these potatoes a little bit before they go into the skillet, and a pinch of rosemary.
The skillet is one of the secrets. According to Elizabeth, it's gotta be cast iron.
This gives it some great flavor. So now what we're going to do is we're going to place our potatoes in, spread them out evenly. Now we're just going to let them cook. You don't want to overcook them because then they get mushy. So that's a secret right there.
When the potatoes turn golden brown, Elizabeth adds onion. Spanish onion, of course.
We're going to add about 3/4 of a cup of Spanish onions, which I had entrance, so we're just going to take this. This is where the smell comes in. I wish had a scratch and sniff there. We want the onions to be kind of translucent. So then it'll probably take about 3-4 minutes.
At this point, it's just like old school Kentucky home fries. But the dish is about to take a trip to Spain. Elizabeth transfers what is in the pan to a bowl, lets it cool down slightly, and then adds a dozen eggs.
We're going to add a little bit of salt and pepper. And we're going to put the home fries. This is where it becomes the tortilla. You notice that the temperature is just right. It's not scrambled at all. That's what we're looking for.
This mixture sits for about 5 minutes, so all the flavors have a chance to mingle together before it goes back into the skillet.
The trick to cooking with a cast iron skillet is it has to be seasoned. And when we flip this tortilla, if it's not, it'll fall apart. So that's definitely a secret. Well-seasoned cast iron skillet. I want my oil to be hot and not too hot. And what we're going to do is we're going to pour the dish of potatoes and eggs into our cast iron skillet. And then I'm going to kind of spread the potatoes out. Now we let it cook. Now what I'm doing is kind of using my rubber spatula to go around the edge just to make sure that it's not sticking. So now we're ready. We're ready. Now this is the tricky part right here.
Watch now as she flips the entire tortilla and gets it back in the pan upside down to finish cooking the top.
I just want to flip it over. I want a flat surface. So say a little prayer. All right, you ready?
From there, she slides the tortilla right back into the skillet.
So now we go back to the stove. And now we're just going to cook the other side.
It cooks till it's firm, but not hard. The next flip takes it to the serving dish.
There it is. It looks like a cake. It is. It's a tortilla. So now you can slice it up.
The cake is served like a piece of pie, and the icing on top is Enoteca's homemade garlic aioli. Actually, it comes on the side.
This is a garlic mayonnaise.
And there you have it, the Spanish tortilla, a terrific taste of tapas at Lexington's Enoteca. Stick around because we're coming back to Enoteca to reveal more secrets coming up. Next, an easy olive dish that makes a healthy snack that'll last all week long.
It's a secret.
Later, homemade andouille sausage.
It's more gratifying to make and to eat something made by hand.
They do it right here at Enoteca, and you can make it too when you learn the secrets.
That's how we roll here. That's how we grind.
That's coming up on Secrets of Bluegrass Chefs. Tim Laird with you again in Lexington on Jefferson Street for another appetizing edition of Secrets of Bluegrass Chefs. We've come to Enoteca this time, which is a trendy place for Spanish-style tapas and a world of great wine.
When you go to Italy, whether it's a big city like Rome or small little villages, just about every place will have its own Enoteca, its own wine bar. And so we chose the name Enoteca for Lexington because we wanted to be Lexington's wine bar.
Renee Brewer is a certified sommelier, an expert on wine. She and her husband Seth also own Wine and Market across the street. For years, they looked out onto this building, which is one of Lexington's oldest.
I think it probably was at one point. I don't think that the streets were oriented the way they are, or even were here when the house was built.
A lot has changed since then. Nowadays, Jefferson Street is one of the hottest destinations in Lexington for good food and drink, thanks in part to this place.
And you got the brewery down at the end, you got Smithtown right up the road, then of course Cooper Vaughn's place, Perry, then we have the Wine and Market across the street.
We love downtown and we love Jefferson Street.
Right next door to us is the blue heron, which they have great steaks.
A lot of folks will come in after having dinner at either Grey Goose or Blue Heron, Nick Ryan's, and they'll come in for an after dinner drink or dessert or something like that.
Enoteca is a great place to end the evening, or start it. The menu is full of shareable small plates and a wide array of beer, bourbon, and wine. And you don't have to be a connoisseur to enjoy Enoteca.
No need to be a connoisseur. That's what we're here for. We're here to help you if you have any questions.
And Renee with the wine, she's always finding the best expression of a varietal at the best value.
And back in the kitchen, Elizabeth Magi is always cooking the perfect pairing, no matter what you're drinking. She specializes in Spanish-style tapas.
Tapas, if you're not familiar with tapas, they're very popular in Spain for many, many years, but they're small dishes and they're shareable plates. A lot of the dishes remind me of my mom, so there's a sentimental connection there for me. Dishes that I grew up with.
There's sausage with Spanish sofrito, old school tortillas made with potatoes and onions, and the list goes on and on.
Most people will start off with the Marcona almonds and marinated olives, which we will prepare today. This is a marinated olives mix that we do here at Enoteca that has Kalamata olives, green olives, and then a oiled cured. We take some extra virgin olive oil, heat that up, a little bit of lemon zest and orange zest, rosemary, thyme, and garlic.
The secret to this is to allow at least 24 hours of marination time before eating it.
You want all the flavors to kind of enhance.
And make plenty of it, because it'll be a tasty snack for days to come.
And it'll hold for a couple of weeks. Put a little bit of olives in our little ramekin, a little zest for color, and that's how it would go out.
For something a little meatier, you can't go wrong with Elizabeth's chorizo puffs. Spanish sausage baked inside puff pastry. This is also something easy to do at home when you learn the secrets.
We start off with our puff pastry dough right here. If you don't have time to do the dough, I know they sell some pre-made dough, but you just want to roll it out, make sure it's kind of thin, which I've kind of done for you guys. We're just going to cut a bunch of circles. And now we have a little bit of an egg wash, just a little bit of eggs scrambled up with a little bit of water, just a tiny bit. And we're going to brush about half of the dough. And what we're going to do is we're going to take the chorizo, take the casing off. We're going to cut it probably about 1/4 of an inch, 1/8 of an inch, somewhere in there. And then we're going to cut it in half.
Notice how she's careful to lay the sausage in line with the egg wash she brushed on.
You got it like half and half. You're going to close it and seal it. The egg will seal the dough together. So what I've done is just take it and then I'm going to seal it. We're going to take the fork and I believe this is called tining, if I remember. And this is to make sure that the puff pastry doesn't come apart.
Seal them up pastry by pastry, then get them on a sheet tray.
Just going to line this up.
A little more egg wash on top adds some shine. Then it's onto the oven.
Here at Enoteca, we use a convection oven, which means it blows air around, kind of circulate it. We're going to cook it at 375 degrees for 8 minutes. Put that right in there. This is our finished product. The lightly golden.
They're good just like this, but even better with Enoteca's house-made honey mustard sauce. You can make that too when you learn chef secrets.
We're going to take a little bit of Dijon mustard right here, about a half a cup. half a cup of aioli, which we make in-house here at Enoteca. We're going to add a pinch of cayenne just for some flavor. About a half a teaspoon of grain mustard.
Just mix all that together and it is ready to serve, along with those piping hot chorizo puffs.
And a little garnish of our paprika, Spanish paprika, of course. We always serve maybe about 100 of these a day. It's so good.
The chorizo puffs are to die for, but that's not the only sausage you can get here at Enoteca. Next, see how they're making their own from scratch.
That's how we roll here. That's how we grind.
If you have a KitchenAid mixer, you can do this yourself at home. We'll have the secrets to that coming up.
I'm going to show you my secrets.
Plus, what do you get when you add Spanish-style tapas with good old Kentucky bourbon? The answer is an irresistible dessert. See that when Secrets of Bluegrass Chefs returns to Enoteca after this.
All right, this is another secret.
The cooking continues behind the scenes at Lexington's Enoteca, right here on Secrets of Bluegrass Chefs. I'm Tim Laird. Enoteca is a hotspot for small plates that are big on flavor. There's also a big selection of wine to go with it all, as well as beer and bourbon. This is Kentucky, after all. Standing out here on Jefferson Street, Enoteca doesn't look that big, but there's a lot more to it than meets the eye. Inside, there's a wonderful bar and several different places to sit and relax. It's all the vision of husband and wife owners, Seth and Renee Brewer.
We got the wine wall in there in our lounge, and that's kind of like a living room. And then we have the gray room, which is kind of like a dining room with two tops that can be put together or broken apart. We've got our green room, which is good for private events, birthday parties, etc. And then we also have the patio, which is very nice.
The patio is wonderful, especially when the weather is nice.
It's so relaxing, some folks forget where they are.
They'll say, I don't feel like I'm in Lexington. And that's not really our goal. We want people to feel like they're in Lexington, but maybe just, an improved Lexington. And on the patio, they'll say, I feel like I'm in New Orleans or Key West.
As soon as you get to the patio, that's where all the action is.
So we're transporting people, and that's part of what food's supposed to do.
The food takes your taste buds on a trip to Spain with a wide variety of small plate offerings that let you taste your way throughout the menu.
We have vegetarian dishes and vegan dishes, gluten-free, and of course meat dishes as well. So we really try to cater to everyone's dining preferences.
The recipes rely heavily on authentic imported ingredients, but also things that are locally grown or even made right here, like the andouille sausage.
We like to make about as much as we can in-house here. It's not a whole lot of fun just to go to Kroger and buy a sausage there. No offense, Kroger. I love shopping there. But, it's from a hobbyist point of view, and then from a kind of an Epicurean point of view, and I think even from the consumer's point of view, it's more gratifying to make and to eat something made by hand. And so that's what we're doing. That's how we roll here. That's how we grind. I started doing this at home. This is totally something you can do at home.
Here's how. It starts with a big bowl full of ground pork and a mix of dry seasonings. Seth is giving us most of his secrets to that.
Yeah, black pepper, some cayenne, we've got salt, a little bit of thyme, a little bit of, and I just don't remember what else is in my secret special magic blend. I'll work on that.
In addition to the dry spices, he also adds fresh minced garlic.
Garlic's very important.
From here, he gets the gloves on and mixes the meat and seasonings thoroughly.
Yep, it's kind of like kneading bread dough.
Once mixed, the meat goes into the sausage maker.
All right. This is exactly 5 pounds.
You probably don't have one of these machines at home, but not to worry.
At home, you can use a KitchenAid, which is how I started. You can get the grinder attachment. It's a grinder stuffer attachment.
The casings slide right onto the attachment. And if you want to try this at home, you can find the casings pretty easily if you look around.
You can find casings at any good butcher shop or even some hunting and outdoor sports places.
Once it's all the way on, Seth cranks the press to push the ground meat into the casing, slowly and carefully.
Busting a gut, that's a sausage expression. If you pack the casing too tightly that when you go to twist it up, you won't really have enough room left in the casing to allow for the knots and for the twists, and you'll rupture it, and then you've got to tie knots and start all over again. It's frustrating. So you want it to be packed, but not too packed.
When the casing is almost full, just slide it off and tie off the end.
Tie a little knot there. Okay.
Then, to create individual links, he adds a few twists every few inches.
So there we go.
Here's another secret. Poke small holes in each link.
Because you don't want them to rupture. Whether you're doing this on the grill or in an oven.
If the sausage ruptures while cooking, you'll lose a lot of the valuable juices, and that's where all the flavor is.
These are ready to fire.
These are great on the grill, or cook them like they do at Enoteca in a convection oven at 375 degrees for about 7 minutes.
Okay, so we serve it with a little bit of our house bourbon honey mustard. We've got some baguette slices, and then we'll throw on some sofrito, which is a Spanish blend of onions and peppers. We'll lay that out, and then we'll throw the andouille right on top.
If you like andouille, this is as good as it gets. And now you can make your own now that you know the secrets. Here's another tapas bar staple, roasted Spanish almonds.
These are delicious. We probably go through about 10 pounds of these a week. So they're very popular.
We get the secrets to serving them from the queen of the Enoteca kitchen, Chef Elizabeth Magi.
These are the queen of almonds. These are Marcona almonds. They come from Spain, world renowned. We get them in raw, and then what we do is we roast them in-house. We take a little bit of extra virgin olive oil. We're just going to drizzle a little bit of extra virgin olive oil here. Nice coating. I'm going to take some kosher salt, and sprinkle that in. And we're going to place them on a baking sheet tray. Just line them out. You want to spread them out. So now what we're going to do is we're going to roast these in our convection oven at 375 degrees for about 12 minutes. We're going to check them a little ahead of time though. These are perfect. And here are our oven roasted Marcona almonds. And this is how we serve it down here.
The roasted almonds make a great snack on their own. They're also the secret ingredient to one of Enoteca's irresistible small dessert plates.
These are our bourbon-soaked, chocolate-covered, almond-stuffed figs. It is a mouthful, but they are delicious.
To make these yourself, start by soaking figs in your favorite bourbon.
You probably want to soak them for about 24 hours, but probably no more than that. The figs will get mushy, and 24 hours seems to be the perfect timing. You get a lot of flavor.
The chocolate is top-notch. It's Calibou, imported from Belgium. They're not messing around here.
No, we try to use good product here. All right, so we're going to take some of our chocolate. We're going to put it in a double boiler, and we're going to melt that off. You want this to be smooth. You want it to be cream, smooth. And I'd say we're pretty much there.
Elizabeth uses a paring knife to cut a small hole at the end of each fig to make space for one of those Marcona almonds to go inside.
You can notice it kind of plumps back out.
After that, the stuffed dates take a quick dip in the melted chocolate, and then onto a sheet pan to set. A few minutes later, it's time to serve.
A little bit of whipped cream. I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of chocolate. Bourbon-soaked almond stuffed figs.
Oh yeah, small plates, big flavors. I want to thank Seth and Renee Brewer for hosting us here at Enoteca, and to Chef Elizabeth for sharing her secrets. I'm Tim Laird, and we'll see you next time on Secrets of Bluegrass Chefs.